I'd like to call call to order for the Airport Special Management Committee, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I see it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there anyone who would wish to make comment on any of the agenda items? I do not have any cards, so seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Does anyone on the committee wish to pull anything from the consent agenda?
None. I move that we approve this consent agenda.
Then move to approve the
Second.
consent agenda. Second. All in favor, please respond by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The administrative agenda. Brian?
Good afternoon, everybody. Brian McGonigal for the record. Administrative item number 9 is we're requesting the board approve a non-participating airline use agreement with EW Discover, which is Eurowings Discover. It's good to have them back. They came back March 28th, 3 times a week to Frankfurt, and this is the typical non-airline use agreement that you've seen before.
Move we approve it. Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 2.
And item number 10 is we're requesting the board approve a second amendment to the airline airport use agreement with Frontier Airlines. Frontier is a signatory airline. They signed on to through 2023. They've asked for additional space, about 200 square feet in the ticket counter that was available, and then some op space underneath Concourse B, which just requires board approval.
I move the item.
Been moved. Second?
I'll second it.
Seconded. Been moved to second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 11 carries.
Thank you. Number 11, we're requesting the board rank proposals submitted for RFP number 2217 ND, IBM Maximo Upgrade, Migration, and Associated Services. Maximo is a robust enterprise asset management system that we've been using since 2009. It helps our maintenance department track all their work orders, all their labor, preventive maintenance. It helps with inventory. We've been using it since 2009. It's probably one of the best ones out there. It is nearing end of support. So we put this RFP together to do 3 things. We need a firm to help us get to the next version of Maximo. And also we wanted the next version to be deployed to mobile devices. Right now, Maximo, we can't use it on tablets or out in the field, so this next system will do that. And then the third one is to move the entire system. We house it here on our servers. We're going to move it to the cloud, which is it's kind of where the industry is going right now, so we don't run it on expensive servers. So we put an RFP together. We actually got 9 responses. We put it out on December 17th, 2021. On January 28th, we received 9 responses, a big response. A publicly noticed staff evaluation committee was held on February 10th, 2022 to review each proposal. It was actually a 6-hour meeting, the staff evaluation, very technical conversations. We had our senior manager from IT, senior manager from maintenance. We had purchasing and finance, and Mr. Trank was, as a non-voting member, was on the committee. The committee unanimously thought that 3 firms rose to the top out of those 9. The 3 in order are Starboard Consulting, IHCS, which is doing business as DBA, doing business as Maven Asset Management, and EDI, Electronic Data, Inc. Those 3 rows to the top, all 3 of them, we've done work with before at Maximo. They can all do it. The committee felt that Starboard had a slight edge and put them in number 1 slightly because they are 100% Maximo company. That's all they do. It was a very polished proposal and with excellent references. So we recommend, staff recommends that that ASMC go with our ranking of our number 1 rank firm, and we'll bring the contract back later to you for approval. You certainly have choices. We could bring, if you want to hear presentations, we recommend that those 3 firms come back at a later scheduled meeting. So you have some choices.
Okay. Are there any comments or questions?
I'd like to make a motion that this be one of those times we accept staff's recommendations and rankings.
Second.
Second discussion? Yes.
I
Robbie.
would tend to go along with that. I looked at every one of them very thoroughly, and you're so right. Those 3 just rose to the top, but then there was a 4th there, but that could have been in that mix. But I still don't think they would have measured up to the Starboard and the ones that you had. So I said in the briefing meeting, I am the most technically challenged person. I just looked at the data that was there. I couldn't talk this stuff if I had to, so I wouldn't even know which questions to answer. So my main questions at briefing was, tell me about the committee that went through these. I want to know that y'all had the expertise to do the deep dive. And the counselor over here said they did, trust me, because they went over my head too. So it was very, very good. So
We had all the experts for sure at that meeting. Yeah.
Well, I realize this is a lot of money, 420,000 up front, and then, what is it,
162
year.
per year.
But,
It is. They're all 3 are expensive.
I don't think,
Maximo's expensive system.
us hearing, additional information would change, what we were able to see from your reports. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favors, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Great. Thank you very much.
Item 11 is approved. C.
Good afternoon, Stephen Hennigan for the record. What am I doing? Administrative agenda item 12, request board approval for a second extension to the service provider agreement for landscaping services at Page Field. This is with P&T Lawn and Tractor Services. They are the incumbent there. And again, this is the second extension to the original agreement. This extends the agreement through June of 2024 with an annual fixed rate for the services provided just shy of $160,000. This covers base ops, Page Field North, all of the surrounding area associated with Page Field. Are there any questions?
Any comments or questions?
I'll move the item.
Item's been
And I'll
moved.
second.
Second, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and item 12 is approved.
Good afternoon. Your last agenda item today is a design contract for the next phase of expansion here at RSW. A new Concourse E. This project will increase airline gates by 50%, adding 14 to the existing 28-gate terminal. We'll also add vehicle lanes to the upper and level roadway system, add airline ticket counters and restrooms, look for additional opportunities for VIP lounges, provide added capacity to our TSA checkpoints and automated outbound baggage handling system, expand our chiller plant, and add taxiways and aircraft parking apron and lots of other stuff. It's a big project with an early estimate of over $600 million. It'll be one of the largest projects ever in Southwest Florida. The design contract before you today is $46 million and it goes across all design disciplines and involves over 270 design professionals working over an 18-month period. Be happy to answer any questions.
That seems like an awful lot of money. Is there some kind of industry standard where, like if your project's gonna cost, $600 million to build, you expect your design work to come in at 5 or 10% of that cost?
Yes, as a benchmark. A lot of times the complexity of the project affects those percentages, but just as a sort of a gut check, usually between 5 and 10% of the overall cost. And I think we also looked at the original, the terminal expansion that's under construction, what it was originally envisioned to be, what it ended up to be after design. And that was within that 5 to 10% window, and so is this.
This is for, A, what we're gonna call
E,
E.
yes, sir. Concourse E. So
I move the item.
Second.
Aye.
thank you.
Agenda? Ben?
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Effective late last night, Transportation Security Administration announced that it will not enforce its mask-related security directives for airports, aircraft operators, and other transportation modes. RSW and FMY are removing all references to mask requirements on static and electronic signs, as well as our public address systems and websites.
Yay.
Just celebrate.
I say that out loud?
No. Sticking to the facts on that one, so. But I'm sure there are some people inside internally celebrating. As you've heard from me weekly in the briefing report and from national news outlets, many airlines are struggling with aircraft and flight crews to support the huge increases in demand for domestic travel and have started to reduce their flight schedules for the peak summer vacation period. We have received some reductions in the past week. Frontier will be pausing service to Trenton, New Jersey, Islip, and Long Island, New York, effective on June 9th. Southwest will be reducing flights to Pittsburgh from daily to Saturdays only. Spirit Airlines will stop service for the summer to Cleveland and Indianapolis on June 5th. Other airlines offer flights to most of these cities with the exception of Trenton, and travelers to Islip can use LaGuardia as an alternative airport. JetBlue just publicly announced that they will cut their summer capacity, but we have not been given any information about the impact here at RSW. However, we'll be keeping in close contact with all of their planning departments. March fuel volume at base operations was down 3% compared to March 2021. One of the reasons is that the new ATP flight school that is now operational has converted to an operations of self-fueling. And what that means is we're no longer selling them fuel, so it's not showing up in our sales, but we are getting a pumping fee from them now for their self-fueling operation, but it shows up in a different category, if you will, of revenue for the airport.
How much is that pumping fee?
I believe it's 35 cents.
35?
Scott here? It's 30, I'm sorry, 30 cents. 30 cents a gallon, yeah.
Thank you.
I wanted to share some really great news about base operations. They were recently ranked in the top 5% of fixed base operations in an international survey conducted by Aviation International News. This is the 10th consecutive year for base operations has been named in the top 5, in the top fixed base operators by AIN. They ranked first in the Fort Myers-Naples area and landed in the top 15 overall for FBOs in the Americas. I just want to congratulate Scott Sheets, Jonathan Buff, and the entire team for their outstanding work.
Wow.
They did this during unprecedented growth as well. We've been just breaking records every month. I'm also very pleased to report that the Honor Flight Organization will be resuming their flights from RSW for World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam veterans to visit memorials honoring service in Washington, D.C. Their next flight is on April 30th, and they will be using base ops as the bus shuttle point to take many of the veterans to RSW. This is always a very heartwarming event, and we appreciate being able to participate to support the veterans of Southwest Florida. Lastly, I just would like to remind all of the members that we will not be having a May Airport Special Management Committee meeting. The next meeting will be a joint board meeting on May 5th with a budget workshop to follow. And that is all the comments that I have, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Any questions? Mark?
No matters, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any comments from the airport committee, special management committee?
Just nice to have all members present today.
Yeah.
Well, special congratulations to Scott and his crew. That's been one heck of a job. So thank you very much. Now, is there anyone who would like to make public comment on any item that comes before this committee? Okay, seeing none, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Thanks for the socks.
Let's go.
that's a record, I think.
All right.
Thanks for the pin.